Let's hear your take on this, sir.
Look, whatever we have discussed, the core here is finance, and we are talking about your employability. Fine. We also need to look at this thing from the perspective of history. That's very interesting, how your mindset's been created. What exactly influences your mindset? So, before I come to language, I'll go to the concept of beauty. Fine. And because then we can draw a kind of simile in both the things. To look at two greatest heroes of Indian culture as Ram and Krishna. But both of them are not, say, white, or they are not, their color is little dark brown. They don't, but if you look at from where the whole beauty concept, go to Bharat Muni in the 4th century. He has written a book called Natya Shastra about the plays. There also in that play, the most beautiful heroine is Kumudni Naika. Kumudni. Kumudni is again dark brown. She's not fair in complexion. Then what exactly happened? Why in modern India in 2025, beauty, or I'd say major part of the world, beauty is somehow been seen like who is fair kind of stuff. What exactly? What is the reason? And if you look at some of the historians who spoke about and I wrote about, it's called, they say it, colonial hangover. Because what exactly happened? You've been ruled by Britishers for 1.5, say 150 odd years, 100 years, almost 200 years, 190 odd years. They came here in 70, 50, that kind of stuff. And then before that, Mughals also came, Afghans also came, and that way, almost you have a history. If you look at the invasion, say around 900, no, say around 1100 onwards, or 900 onwards kind of stuff, till now, the whole idea had changed. And same goes with the language. Because the point is, when we talk about, say, English language, we need to look at the data all around the world. Whole Europe, the main language is not English. French is the language where, if you want to survive in Europe and the interiors of Europe, then you need to know French. If you know French, you will survive. You don't need to know English to survive in European countries. So if my take is, we must look at language and their importance in a holistic manner, not just from the perspective of finance and the market and employability. Because language is also matter of culture. Language also matter of identity. Language also matter there. And that's why we all are custodians. And that's why as a society, I guess we need to be very, very mindful that whom we are producing, what kind of children we are creating in our schools, what kind of citizens we are creating, what kind of people we are, at all levels. Are we only creating employees? That is our aim. That you go to the market, you survive in the market and go, no. And when I come back to this element of, say, your employability goes up, I think I have a mixed understanding of this matter. To be employable, you need to have the certain set of skills. To be employable, you need to have certain thing in a certain way. If you have it, like I'll just give you an example. There's a company called Zoho. Their offices are based in the villages of Andhra and Tamil Nadu, interiors. Their earning is, last year surplus, their profit was 2,700 crores. And they kind of, work in all kind of elements. And the most interesting thing which I like about Zoho is they employ and they hire students from villages and the B tier, C tier cities, train them for 6 months to 8 months, make them employable as per the need of that particular segment of their business, and then they engage them in the business, their say sector. So my take is, when you look at language, ladies and gentlemen, just not think from the economic say perspective. There are other perspectives as well, and if we leave those perspectives, it means somewhere down the line we are kind of, again following or say thinking the way years back when 1857 happened. After that, there was a white paper presented in the British Assembly, And in that particular, and it was presented to the Queen as well. And the whole plan. And the plan was we want to produce Indians who will remain brown in their, I'll say, skin, but in thought processes, they will become British. And when they say British, it means they talk about the cultural identity, they talk about the language identity, they talk about the way we dress and the way we kind of carry ourselves, each and everything. And if you look at that way, if we endorse that whole thought process, then I'll say whatever they proposed in 1859, 60, around that time, after say around 140 odd years, we are exactly talking and exactly responding to what they have said. So my request to all of you is, and my take on this matter is, we must bring the other elements of sociology, other elements of culture, other elements, and that's why proficiency in whatever you do, and that's why I agree with Ritika what she said in the beginning. It's not about what language you are using. It's all about whatever you are speaking. You must speak properly. You must have a depth. You must know the cultural context. You must know the literature in that. You must exactly be aware of what are the things been written and discussed and all kind of stuff. So my request is, if we as an educator or as a sensible citizens of this country, if we focus in that direction, it will help us to have a holistic approach towards language. Otherwise, it will remain a linear approach. And I feel linear approach is a dangerous way of looking at anything. Thank you.
Wonderful. I mean, that's a completely different perspective.